Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to test out the 1-bar Sorc in the new Vateshran Hollows Arena and see how it holds up. It's gonna be interesting once we have modifiers. We have 30k health and 47k Magicka. With modifiers that will go even higher. I will showcase the build, outfit and all that stuff at then, like I always do. And once again, with this setup, the most important thing is that you always keep up your shield. Because then nothing really can happen to you. That was the wrong button. I'm using the healing morph of the bird at the moment. I'm not sure if it will replace crit surge with elemental drain, because I'm using Pyrelord ring. Might be more than enough.
Protection, Hunter! Oh! You require my blessing before harming this creature.
My interrupt doesn't work. Interesting. What's going on? Hey. Because I'm stuck in my heavy attack? Yeah, Jesus. Maybe it's a bit buggy. Yeah, it's buggy. Some players told me that the arena, there is some issues from the last patch. Yeah, look at it.
But do you have the strength for more?
Let me slot elemental drain, because I feel like we have enough healing. Just gotta do heavy attack and shield. Yeah, something buggy with the interrupt. I gotta check my settings.
This shell brings your death.
You can see where he goes next. And when the boss does this, you gotta interrupt.
Remove it.
You see, the bosses don't really do a lot of damage. Like, we heal back up so fast.
Better.
Yeah, I think my key bindings are not working.
Strong around you, fledgling hunter.
There we go. I'm gonna wait. So slow when you have to double tap interrupt, Jesus.
I embody life. I cannot
The damage is obviously not the highest, but We're taking so little damage because we have so much health.
This new host serves me better.
Okay, that was tricky. Let me use the bird heal.
To my aid.
Jesus Christ. Okay, it's this one. You can only like damage the Grotto right now because he's the only one that glows. Be cool if I could hit him and not the other guy.
The shell brings your death.
Okay. There we go.
Only continues the great.
Let's see. Dodge roll, interrupt, synergy. Yeah, nothing was where it should have been. That's always good to know. Weapon swap work. That's weird. Usually it always picks up the... Let's just skip these. I usually... maybe it's because I don't have the other one active. Yeah, okay, the keybinder is not active. That is why. Shield up. Always keep your abilities active. It still feels slow to break free, even though now I have bound it to one button. The beauty of PTS. Things sometimes work, sometimes, well, they just don't. Let's move on. So far, so good. So it looks like if you have Ring of the Pyrelord, then you can just use Eldraine. If you don't have Ring of the Pyrelord, we can use Crit Surge as a trade-off. Oh, I didn't bind block now. Good job. Reason why this setup is so nice is because we have literally a 18,000 shield. And if you reapply it after every heavy attack, it's really not gonna... It's gonna be tough to die unless you get like hit by several attacks at once. Lock. And here is also, I'm not sure if that's intended, because the boss immediately attacks. That wasn't like this. You can dodge roll the heavy attack or just shield it. So he's going over. Next platform. You can easily avoid the charge. He's swapping colors. We are going over too. You gotta block this. That's it. Yeah, so if you use a shield and block his heavy attack, deals about 17,000 damage. So it's probably better to dodge roll it if you have the stamina. I do recommend using sigils. So far I don't really need them, but of course. This boss is the most annoying one out of all, in my opinion. Because of the... You gotta interrupt, the boss will jump after you, and the problem is with the grapple hook. You have to sheath your weapon mid-fight. And when you have your weapon sheathed, you cannot block, like, in the process. So it could wreck you really hard. You do it in the wrong moment. I still didn't really... Okay, next. Come on, teleport, bro. Yeah, it's a little bit laggy, but it's okay, it's PTS. Dodge roll this? Damage is actually not too bad. Thought it would be worse. So before we move, we're gonna interrupt. Nice. Okay. Dodge roll this. So even though I have 16,000 stamina, let's move. You see, the stamina gets kinda tricky sometimes. But once again, you can always just use sigils. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, this game, I fucking love it. There we go. Sometimes you're fighting the box more than the game. But they're both dead. It's cool that they like implement this grapple hook mechanic, but it's really not made for in-fight. Because, yeah, when you grapple, you sheath your weapon, the boss can still hit you. Very, very tricky. Do not get wrecked. It's actually going to be interesting to see how long we have in this run. I guess we gotta kill that guy. Okay, these 4 guys, sure. I just hope it's only PTS, because sometimes my heavy attacks don't fire and break free is really slow. Now we're in the second arena. I can go make myself a coffee by the time I broke free. Jesus. This stuff used to be instant back in the day. Anyway. Let's just deal with it. I will probably do another run where I pick up sigils as well. Now I'm going back here to get the orb. Technically, you could change out, like, you could use Ring of the Wild Hunt now to, like, speed up the process here a little bit for running. Because I don't have any speed buff with me. But I'm too lazy to swap, so I'm just not gonna do it. Now, I have 47k Magicka. Let's see how much we get. 47... 53, let's go. That's a lot of extra damage. So the grapple hook mechanic is fine now. Like, outside of combat, totally fine. If we are lucky, we will find 5 remnants. These are like smaller orbs that give 1000 Magicka each. So we could get even more Magicka. Oh, there is one. There's also a map on alcasthq.com and eso-hub.com where you can find the possible orb locations. They're never at the same location. They always swap. You might not always find all 5, but usually, like, just walking on the way, there's like at least 3 that you can pick up. And you see, most of the times I don't even activate my shield and my healing is more than fine. But yeah, I could activate my shield more often. Just use the bird as a heal. Another remnant orb. So this one. I usually just try to kill this one first. Even though the other guy gets health back, but this dude is just way more annoying. Now he's gonna teleport here. Interrupt this. And the big guy does a heavy attack. Yeah, there. If you stand in that, you're one shot pretty much. I can tell you that. Now he has a shield, so you gotta wait for the heavy attack. There we go, and then the shield will go away. He tells him like, dude, why? You're on my side. I guess we can just attack him now. But it looks like he will die sooner. It's the same thing here, kinda. Nothing will kill you except the big fat heavy attack. Can we? There we go. If you kill both at the same time, then the big guy will not regain health. Now here, you don't need to kill these monsters unless you want score. And you will get teleported back if you're too slow. Keep that in mind. So you gotta activate these amplify sigils to increase your time in this area. Till you press the chain, and then you're done. So this might be a little bit confusing at the start. Some people actually thought it lagged out, but it's just... if you take too long, it will teleport you back. Wait, wasn't there another sigil? Oh, I think we saw that one. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Whatever, let's just kill them. Dodge roll the heavy attack. Always dodge roll the heavy attack. We can actually also spam the blockade a little bit. Dodge roll the heavy attack. By spamming the blockade, you actually increase your damage a little bit because it has an explosion part with it. And the explosion part deals quite some damage. There can also be more orbs in here. Let's see. These big glowy eyes, they apply a debuff on you and snare you. There's an orb. So you take increased damage. Which is important to know on the next boss fight. So we found 4 orbs. So far, it's not bad. Oh, the 5th one. Voila. Wonderful. 59k Magicka. Well. Isn't that beautiful? Let's keep a little bit stamina. I don't want to get wrecked by a heavy attack. And keep moving. There we go. So, that obviously increased our damage by quite a bit. This is nice. Oh, let me stretch real quick. Take a sip on my tea. Yummy belly rummy. And once again, the build is on alcasthq.com. Everything is explained. All the solo builds have a Vateshran Hollows setup. So this one is going to be interesting. Just gonna stay ranged. Because why not? Once again, there is sigils in this arena. So you can use sigil to make the fight a lot easier. So now an ice spawn. You want to actually get close to this. Yeah, it actually got hit, nice. My heavy attack doesn't work, of course. I don't know why I do keep tab targeting. Like, it just breaks things. And there's a lot of green AoEs. Or like, not AoEs, lasers. And they actually deal quite a bit of damage, so make sure to keep moving around, to not get hit by these. And make sure to keep up your shield. As you can see, I have to activate my shield more often, because I get hit in the face by a lot of damage. You could go upstairs to kill the eye dudes, like these laser beamers, but the problem is they spawn faster than you can actually kill them, so just ignore it. Just spam your shield more often, use the bird heal. Try to not stay in too many. The green AoEs. The standing in the middle will deal more damage. So as a melee, this fight is like more difficult. But, well, we're a Sorc, so whatever. If you're picking up the sigil, please remember. Take this one here. before you use your ultimate, because this one increases your damage by a lot. So your ultimate will deal a buttload of extra damage. But you can see, as long as we stay ranged, there's not really any immediate danger. Voila. Next. Now, the next big boy. Let's get the health buff. You probably can get like 40k health with this build. It's kind of made for this arena because it's like, okay, you also get extra modifiers to increase your stats. So it gets even stronger than it usually is. The last boss is gonna be interesting though. And please, these things are in a... like, you could miss them. Especially as a new player. You will miss them most likely. Maybe I need a speed buff here, because it's quite a long way to travel. Maybe not, let's see. These heroes are different. So yeah, I just hope you read the guide on alcasthq.com, because it tells you where what is on the map. But the buffs are usually close to the start of the arena. That's pretty much the only thing you need to know. So we have 29.5k. Now we have 36.3k. So the health buff actually use like the modifiers work on them. 37k health. You can just kill the gatekeeper and then all the other mobs will disappear. And now, because we have more health, our shield also just got bigger. Pretty amazing. It will keep getting bigger. That's the true masterpiece of this setup. Hardened ward. More Magicka, more health, way bigger shield. Other classes also get that with like Harness Magicka, but not that big. We can actually double check how much the shield will be. Kind of wanna know now. 18.4 versus 22.6, so 4k less. That's quite a big sum. Sustain is endless on this setup. And it has very strong AoE damage, which is very helpful in most of these fights. There is usually a lot of monsters. You can see when I reapply the blockade soon, all the mobs behind pretty much instantly die. So now the boss is teleporting to a place here. Now we can kill this guy here, get an orb and throw it, and then the hole will get blocked. But for some reason it was already blocked, I'm not sure. Well, it is what it is. What was that? But you see, like, I barely have to use the shield. Even though there's so much things hitting me, it's just, the ring is super strong. And yeah, it's just a build. Now there is a lava thing, so we can try to kill the big guy again. Oh, it's already gone. Okay. Let me use my ult one more time. I actually had never to use my bird heal so far, which is like a burst heal. Slow but steady. Obviously, with a double bar build you will have more damage, but the damage on this one bar setup is very good, and it's just the power you get and the extra health and all that stuff. Kinda nuts. So here we might have to make a small detour to get more health buffs. So far we picked up 1 ore, there is 5. But once again they can be at random locations. Oh, I hear one. And that's why there's a map on alcasthq.com and eso-hub. They both have the Vateshran Hollows guide with maps of all the orb locations and like boss guides and so on, of course. You can hear them they make a very loud noise. If you have game sound on. There can also be one there sometimes. These dudes actually deal quite a bit of damage, so be careful. One is attacking the bird. I hear another one. And another one. But let's run there first. Because the big boy probably following. The big guy runs around here a lot. There could be one up there, but there is none. There could be one at the secret boss, but I'm not gonna bother. It's just too much of a detour, to be honest. The orbs respawn. Make sure to stay close to them, otherwise you won't get the buff. $41k health. This is gonna suck a bit, because all my stamina is gone. Now here also, this trash pack is actually more difficult than it looks like. Because the mobs deal a lot of damage. There's a lot of fire, single light attacks that you get hit in the face with. But hey, just keep your shield up. Too bad, I think we missed. One orb is back there, so we actually can go get that one mid-fight maybe. You need to get this before the fight ends, otherwise... Maybe let's do it in the second phase. You have to go out of range here. This is pretty much one-shots. It's very desynced, so you can't really... like, try to avoid it. Now he's gonna do his thing there. I'm gonna heavy attack this. Then you don't get any damage from the lava on the ground. You don't pick up the orb, you're gonna get lava damage. You can't just out-shield the damage though, pretty much. Okay, for some reason. Still got plenty of damage. Now big guy comes in. This dude actually deals a lot of damage, interesting. He does his spinning thing. I'm just gonna focus on this dude because he needs to die as fast as possible. Even though I will waste my ulti or whatever. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's see how this goes. This is kinda risky though, because the buff only lasts for a short amount of time. But well, we made it. Kinda funny that the boss... okay, sure. What was that? Usually when that happens, it means it's a little bit laggy. Let me do the heavy attack again so we get some safety. So here you just have to avoid the lava. On a 2-bar setup, the boss is dead at this point most of the times. But well, we just don't have the deeps. I'm gonna save my second ulti for the second outro that will show up. Oi. Keep your shield up and you will be fine. He actually just... oh my god, he's old man, look at him. Taking a nap. Dude, when's the second one showing up? At 30? Oh yeah, there he shows. Honestly, maybe at this point we should just focus that guy. I feel like sometimes the lava shield that applies to us doesn't really work. But hey, it is what it is. I'm just gonna use my ulti because I'm more afraid of that guy than the main boss. It's kinda hilarious. So now we gotta do the heavy attack here again. So my pets die quite often here. Bad for business. Come on bro, it's time to die. There we go. Dead. Boss fight! This is going to be interesting. Now the problem here is... Well, it's not really a problem, it just makes the fight longer.
Only one final challenge left. Me.
In the grapple hook phases, the longer you have, the more health the boss regains. So it will increase the length of the boss fight, kinda. So I will be focusing the boss and just keep my AoE up, except now, because I gotta kill this mini dude, otherwise I'm dead. So I'm spamming my blockade here because it's decent single target damage. Dude, where's that sniper? There he is. So now we are going to the lava zone first. Really? He's not there yet. I think at 15%. Just keep up your shield. If you drop your shield, you're dead. Okay, at 10%. Seems like they changed this. This here is kind of the most annoying one. You want to stay close to the mage because of this. So the other boss also gets hit. My bird just died. They're pretty much fighting the bosses again. Kinda. Okay. That's not bad damage at all. Now we gotta focus this dude. I actually recommend spamming the blockade here, every heavy attack. Or even more, yeah. That was a tricky. If I missed, I would be dead now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, a lot more damage. Ooh, my ult is already ready. I'm gonna use my ulti. Next phase. Always make sure to line up. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, this is not optimal, I'm not gonna lie. My bird died in a very bad moment. It died again. I think the biggest problem here now was that we didn't have my ulti ready. So you gotta be really careful. Keep up the shield. Otherwise you are dead. Now I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna use... Make sure that the placement is good so it hits the boss too and the miniat there. Very nice, very nice. Beautiful placement. I gotta keep up my shield more. Now there's a lot of extra monsters. Keep moving. Moving here is kinda key. And remember, the Ring of the Pyrelord does more damage the more targets he hits. Oh shit, that could have killed me. Wow. So I'm trying to bring the other two mobs into my AoE. The mage was a good boy. So this killed both my mobs, really. Sure. Yeah, this boss fight will be a bit tough. Where is the portal? Like, the mobs should not die. It's kind of a bummer. I'm gonna save my ulti because there's not a lot of mobs yet. On the other hand, you still have time even if the circle closes quite a bit, by the way, so don't panic. Yeah, my mobs are dying a lot. That's no bueno. I can still recast them, it's not really a big deal, but it's annoying. Keep up your shield and we are good. 0 deaths.
Avoid, Mother. We did not summon such a creature for this challenge. Vateshran's rights now end. You did more than we expected. Well done.
Unbroken Vigor. Strength from within. Vateshran Hollow's Vanquisher. A lot of achievements to do at Vateshran Hollow's Conqueror. Let's see, what do we have? A Hungering Void Staff. Amulet of Explosive Rebuke. And Vateshran Perfected Restoration Staff. This one is actually nice because it helps with sustain. There's not... Most of the weapon sets are actually pretty garbage, but the rest of the stuff is actually cool. I actually wonder... Complete hollows in a single attempt without dying. Yeah, okay, so... We had like 48 minutes.
A hard-won victory. Feel all
The speedrun would be like 45.
warrior nature now. Each
If we had
strength of skin
used
and bones. A glow of strength.
Ring of the Wild Hunt between bosses, we could have definitely made it in time. Now let's actually check. The ultimate did the most damage. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So, healing done. Ring of the Pale Order. it proc 2,608 times. And it healed us 650,000. That's crazy. Like, I used the bird heal twice in this fight. Right? That's how much. Like, I barely need it because the Pale Order heals for so much. If you don't have the Pale Order, then instead of Elemental Drain, please make sure to use Critical Surge. Because that will heal for a similar amount, right? So let's take a look at the build real quick. We used to have Isart here, but there is like two setups on alcasthq.com, like the build. I will have one for a Pale Order and one without, so you kind of understand how you can run it. But this ring is very good, right? So you want to make sure to have Markarth, you want to make sure to have Greymore, otherwise you can't get the ring. It's a very good selling. It kind of gets you to buy Markarth and Greymore, because you need it for Markarth DLC, because there's 5 parts and some drop in Markarth, and you need Greymore DLC because this can only be obtained through the Antiquity system. And you can only use that if you have Greymore. Smart move. But the ring is completely overpowered, so go get it. Then, like always, Necropotence and Plague Doctor. Plague Doctor gives us extra health. Necropotence gives us extra Max Magicka. And because we have these here, the Essence of Mysticism gives us 5,000 extra Max Magicka, and the Remnants give us another 5,000 if you find all 5. There is a map I can show you. I mean, why don't I show you? Just let's see. Whoop. I'm still working on the guide, by the way. But the map is pretty much already here. It explains what these do and where you can get the orbs and so on. All possible spawn locations. Same thing at eso-hub. Let me actually refresh this. There we go. It also has like all the tips and tricks, and I'm still working on the boss guides. But it shows you the possible spawn locations. I'll put the links in the description for this as well. Same with the health one, Essence of Fortitude. 5,000 max health, and then every remnant gives us another 1,000, and we found all 5, so we get 10k extra health and 10k extra Magicka, and that's why we have 60k Magicka and 43k health. Like, that's kind of fucked up. That's why our shield is so big, 25k. Like, you have seen, I actually got quite a bit of damage, but I didn't have to dodge roll at all. Heavy attack, shield, heavy attack. Now in this fight it was important to overlay the blockade on several targets. Because the more targets you deal damage to, the better the Pale Order ring will heal. That's why I said, like, look at 2,600 procs over 7 minutes. That's nuts. Then the last piece, I used Dummy House. So you have 5 Plague, 5 Necro, 1 Pale Order, and 1 Dummy House. Because we get another Max Stam and Max Magicka. As a 1 piece. There is other item sets that only give a Max Magicka piece, so just use Dummy House so you get extra stamina to dodge roll. And on the small pieces I use Divine, and on the big pieces I use Infused. Just to boost our Max Magicka more. The Plague Doctor rings, I just took the base ones healthy. And the Pale Order, it's Arcane. I think when it drops it's Bloodthirsty. You could actually run full Arcane or full Bloodthirsty here, because we have enough Max Magicka or Max Health anyway. Front bar stuff, well, I only have a front bar on the 1 bar build. It's a Plague Doctor Lightning stuff, infused with a charged weapon enchantment. Can I kill the bird? Thank you very much. floppy wings are annoying. We use a lot of shock enchant because it deals nice damage and it also can concuss the enemy. Let's actually see the charged. Yeah, it deals a lot of damage, you see here. Very, very nice. But that's why the build is so nice. We have a lot of AoE damage. You have the Volatile Familiar, which deals a lot of AoE damage, the Unstable Wall of Storms, the heavy attack from the shock stuff, and the Thunderous Rage ultimate. So it's a lot of AoE damage. Now the skill set, the Hardened Ward, shield, right? It also shields your monsters and it's just bigger than any other shield out there. Get it. Unstable Wall of Storms. Deals a buttload of AoE damage. Now, the thing here is, if you reapply it early, it doesn't matter, you could spam this. Because when we read it, slam your stuff down to create an unstable storm barrier in front of you, dealing 1700 shock damage to enemies in the target area every 1 second. Setting concussed enemies off balance. When the effect ends, the barrier explodes, dealing 9000 damage. So it's like, kind of like... It's kinda hilarious because this costs 9000. When we look at the spammable, I don't know, let's take Crystal Fragments. The Crystal Frag deals 11,000 damage. Elemental Weapon deals 9,000. So by reactivating this, you do almost as much damage as a normal spammable, right? And it explodes every time when you reapply it. That's the beauty of it. That's why you have seen me sometimes spam this a little bit to increase my overall damage. Elemental Drain. If you have Ring of the Pale Order, you won't use Elemental Drain. It gives you minor Magicka steal, so it gives extra sustain and it reduces the enemy's spell resistance by almost 6000, so you will deal a lot of extra damage. Just keep in mind, the Pale Order ring can only heal you when you're dealing damage. That's why I actually use the Twilight Matriarch, which can like heal me. If I drop low, I can still use the bird to heal me. And as you can see there, it heals for like 13k. So if it crits like, I don't know, 30, 25k or even more, that's very powerful. If you don't have Ring of the Pale Order, then please use Critical Surge instead of Elemental Drain. Yes, it will lower your damage, but you won't, like, without the Pale Order ring, you need this. Then we have the bird, it deals nice single target damage. You could use the other morph if you think you have enough healing. We have the familiar, which is very powerful AoE damage. And we look this here on the 4th spot. And then we have unstable, which, I mean, look at this, like 10k overall damage, that's crazy. Also, the Scamp has one extra function. When it runs out, when the cast is over, it stuns all enemies around him, which is very nice. It gives you extra breathing room. And Thunderous Rage just deals a buttload of damage, pretty much. All the shock abilities can set enemies not off balance, but you can concuss them. Minor vulnerability, that had a 36% uptime, so that means while this is up, we deal 5 or 8% more damage. And while this is up, we can proc off balance, which will increase our damage even more because we have 81 points in Thaumaturge, which means we get the Exploiter perk, which increases damage by 10% against off-balance enemies. And when you do a heavy attack on an off-balanced enemy, you get twice the amount of resources. Instead of 3000 Magicka, you get 6000 Magicka back. Very nice. Now the key elements, or very important points, is buff food and potions. I would recommend using the expensive spell power potions. Go pick flowers, craft them. And if you have the money, you can go buy them. Or if you have enough alliance points, you can buy the alliance spell draw. Gives you major intellect, major sorcery, and major prophecy. So that's 40% extra Magicka recovery. Not that important for our build because we have heavy attacks, that means infinite sustain anyway. But it's still almost 1000. Major sorcery, 20% extra spell damage. If you're using crit search, you don't need this because crit search gives you major sorcery. But once again, Pyrelord the ring with Allied Rain. And then Major Prophecy, which increases your critical damage. 2629. I'm actually not sure how much that is. We have 34.9. Let's see how much we get when this goes away. So 35 pretty much. 35. Oh, wow. 12. That's nice. That's a lot. They buffed this, huh? 12% spell crit. So you can see if you don't use these potions, how much damage you lose. 12% crit is a buttload of extra damage. It's the most important increase. Now, buff food wise, the cheap version, longfin pasty with melon sauce, very cheap to get in the guild stores. If you have a little bit extra cash, you can use bewitched sugar skulls. This one gives 4620 health, this one gives 4462. So the difference is very small. This one just costs quite a bit more. Buff food and potions. Most important thing of a build, and usually gets forgotten. We use the Mage Mundus Stone to get extra max Magicka. The race High Elf is pretty much best suited for this setup. You get increased spell damage, you get increased max Magicka, and when you activate a class ability, you restore Magicka. Very nice. What else is there to say about the build? That's pretty much it. The champion points, you can find them on alcasthq.com. They're not that important. Let's take a sexy screenshot of the stats that we can get in here. The shield maybe 2. Now we're gonna port out. And we can see what happens. So our shield was 25,000. We had 43 and 60k Magicka. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna show the outfit too, by the way. Voila. So we dropped from like 43k to 30k, so that's like 13,000 extra health, and from, what was it, 60k to like 46, it's like 13k extra max Magicka. So yeah, this build benefits a lot from these things. Once again, it is all explained on the website where you can, how the orb system works in the new arena. Outfit: Thorn Legion hat, Thorn Legion epaulets, gloves, breeches, robe, sash, and the shoes, and then Thorn Legion stuff. The dye I use is Void Pitch. It is a new dye which drops in the arena. Now you can also see it here, rewards and loot, kinda like how it looks like, the skin and the dyes. I'm also working on like explaining how you can obtain this, kind of like a small guide. It's not hard, but it will take a while to get it done. And you can do it on normal. So you can obtain the dark dye on normal. Then I had Lycanthrope Grey, so it fits well together. The skin that I used is the Silver Server, aka Sanctified Silver from Asylum Sanctorium. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out alcasthq.com. It has builds, guides, has everything here. Antiquities, lists, beginner setups. If you have friends that started playing, make sure to let him know. There's a lot of beginner guides here. Same with eso-hub. We are working on building this one out. We have like set skills. We always keep them up to date. It has a mega menu. You can always check golden vendor, luxury vendor. Some other Mundus Stones traits. Housing stuff. We are working on getting more things on here, like appearance and so on. It has all the zones, the events. The DLC zones like Markarth, which the Vateshran Hollow drops in, so you can see all the sets that drop there. And what kind of zones are there. Some guides, we will be adding more over time. Like Craft Bag as a plus, the Antiquity System, the crafting and so on. And we also have a German and a French version. If you want to help translate these things, be our guest. Because we are working on translating them. Now, when I can show an example, maybe I think the Witches Festival is almost like, or like this half translated. This one is already half in French. We plan to translate everything, but yeah, it takes a while, obviously. That's this. Link in the description. There's also a lot of other cool features. It's basically a combination of ESO sets, skillbook and housing, and we will add more features. I also do have a Twitch that you can follow me if you want to, where I live stream usually on the weekends. My Instagram, then my YouTube channel here. Make sure to subscribe. I do have a second YouTube channel where I upload past live streams from my Twitch. Then I have Discord, I have Twitter, I also do have Facebook. All links in the description below. Thanks for watching. Build works fabulous in the new arena. It will be all updated once the patch goes live. Adios and see you another time.